It's not working. What am I doing wrong? If you're using the 3, 4, or 5 foot lines, this next segment probably would not be an issue to you, because in a 3 and a 4 foot line, it's just simply you're swinging it back and forth, and you might do a pendulum cast, and you might just be throwing it over on the floor. You can stand and do this, but you're likely just sitting here and sitting on with it on your lap, and you're just teasing your pet right in front of you. So we're going to turn around, we're going to get some back shots, and we're going to go from there and show you some of the issues that you might be having so we can fix the problem so you can enjoy the Let's Fish Pet cast rod. One of the first things that you need to check to make sure you have, first of all, threaded the line through the eyelets correctly. I actually have a rod here that I have incorrectly taken the line through. And as you see, if I have the guides lined up, or the eyelets lined up on the left side of my body, you can see that the line is wrapped around the rod here. We've got it wrapped a couple of times around there. Now, to correct this problem, the best thing to do is to lay your rod on a flat surface. Sometimes if you lay it on your lap, it turns really easy. But if you lay this on a flat surface, on a tabletop, countertop, and where the eyelets are faced towards your body, and as you run the line through, you'll correct that problem. But if your line looks like this, in order for it to work properly, if you're using 6 or longer line lengths, you must take the time to fix it. Another thing that could be giving you some trouble is the hand position. The hand position is critical. You must remember to make sure that the eyelets of the rod are faced in towards your body. And your hand position is just like so. The finger is on the top of the rod. The thumb is kind of wrapped down on the side and underneath. And the eyelets are on the left hand side. And the line is running all the way through the eyelets straight. There's no wrap around the rod. As a beginner, and as you learn to use this new system, it would not be unlikely that after you've done a few casts with this, it could look a mess like this. Another thing that could cause this is if, let's say, your pet had taken the toy and you're sitting there playing with it, and all of a sudden the pet releases it, and then it comes flying back at you, and you end up with a mess like this. Well, obviously, if it looks like this, we can't recast it. So you need to take a minute and just simply untangle everything. And it's pretty easy because, again, this is a stretch nylon. Knots come out of it very easily. And all I'm going to do is just simply, it's just got caught up on the guides. We're going to pull it through here. Make sure that it's straight again. Pet toy is ready to go. I've got an 8-foot line on, and so my hands are back here and we're ready to go again. So if it gets tangled up, take a minute and make all of the knots and entanglements around the guides, and make sure you check your hand position, the guide position, and you're ready to go again. After you've used the rod over and over and over again, it will not be unlikely that your line will start to look like this. Now, when this happens, there are a couple of things that you can do to fix the problem. Number one would be to change the toy out, and that way you can just simply untangle the line by running your fingers through it. Or you can actually leave the toy on, and then by stripping the line between your thumb and first finger and just let it go down, the toy will spin and it will come untangled. But this is a good time for you to change out toys and let your pet have something else fun to play with. I mentioned to you about stripping the line between your thumb and first finger if you want to leave the toy on, and I want to show you what I mean by that. I'm just going to tuck the rod underneath my arm here, and we're going to bring the line up, and I'm going to start just simply pulling the line through, and I'm holding that very tightly. It's actually running between my fingernail, but as it comes up, you can see that the toy starts to twist. And you can see that the line here, you can see that those, the little twists in this have now disappeared. I'm just doing that some more. I'll just do it again. Take it down a little faster because we'll come back up and do it again, just to make sure we've got it all out. Now after you've done this a little bit, and you've learned how to use this, the cast and twitch rod system, this won't happen to you a lot, but it's just a lot of it's just in the beginning stages of using it and learning how to, where your hand and your rod position should be. All right, I think we're going to be good to go. My loop is not big enough to attach to my toy. That has been asked me many times, especially when we were in the prototyping of this. But there are some things that we need to do to just look at, to just evaluate it. I'm sitting here and I can't figure out how to put this together, and the line loop is very small, and I'm trying so hard to put this around, and I can't get it through the ear, let alone the whole body. So I go, well, what am I doing wrong? Well, let's see. Let's look at the rod first thing. Remember that there is a large loop and a small loop to each line. And the small loop always attaches to the first eyelet of the rod. So as I evaluate what I've done here, I'm holding a small loop here, and I can easily see that I've attached the large loop first, and that is wrong. You need to reverse it. So we're going to take the rod apart, bring the line back through, and fix the problem, and then the pet toy should go on very easily. Another problem that you will have, especially as you go to the longer length lines, will be to always check your hand position. That will be the first thing that you'll check, and then the other one is your rod position. But let's just go over your hand position one more time. When you have the longer length lines, you have to have your hands out here and then back. Here and back. Your rod is going up to about a 12 o'clock time and being released down to about a 9:30. Okay, check your hands. All right? Go here like this, and then we can throw it. All right? Now, another problem that you're going to have is that when you use your longer length lines, you have to worry about the thrust and the position of your casting arm. If you must raise your arm out here to the side a little bit, and then it's just a little bit of an assertive throw. You cannot go like this. Bring your elbow close to you. You have no momentum. It won't go anywhere. So you have to raise it up and then give a little bit of a thrust, like so. Raise it up and then cast. You can cast at any position where you're sitting or standing, but those are two positions. Please check your hand position and also the rod position. Sometimes after you've cast and cast and cast, and especially with larger toys, you'll get a wind knot in that is so bad that you just want to start over again. Penny Penguin and I have just done that, and we want to show you what we need to do to fix it. The best thing to do is just simply to cut it off and start over again. And I'm going to show you how to make the knot so that you can easily do that both from the rod and to the toy. Okay, we're going to tuck the rod underneath my arm here so that everything is out of the way. And we're just going to kind of explain a little bit so you see where we're at. This is the loop that goes to the toy, and this is the loop that has come from the rod. Now this is where the knotted mess is. This happens to be the knot that goes in the fishing line. So the best way to take care of that is that we're just simply going to cut right above the knot right here. All right, just like that. Then we're going to make an overhand knot. You're just going to double up your line, because remember we have to make a big loop. So I take it out. It's all I'm going to get. Well, that's about 6 inches. Right? We're holding it like that, and we just simply wrap it around itself like that and bring it back up through the loop. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time. You're going to fold it back till you have about 6 inches there, Bring it in this position. There's the loop in the right hand. I'm holding it in my left hand. Make a circle loop, tuck it underneath the thumb, and there's the loop you've made, and bring it up through the bottom. And then we're going to snug it down like so. I also take a little small pair of pliers and just tug down on this extra string that you have like this, and just tighten it up, and then you trim off this excess with a pair of scissors like so. Okay, now let's assume that the knot was down on our little penny, the penguin, and the knot was all in here. We're going to go ahead and cut this off because we're going to show you that we're going to make 2 loops on this one. Let's just pull that off. And I don't have the very same color, but we're going to show you we need to make a large loop on one side, larger, doesn't need to be the same size as the rod length, but we've just doubled it over itself again. We bring it up through, tighten it up, tug on it with a pair of pliers, and then this side just needs to be a small one. I've got a lot of extra line here we don't need. Pull it up through like so, trim off the excess. And there we go. Oh, still got one left there. And then that just threads back on. We'll show you how to do that. Now our leader loops, we offer leader loops that come just like this. They're in many different colors. They're 3 in a package. And if you have to ever cut off your loop-to-loop connector from the toy itself, you can buy a package of these and just simply put it through the loop that's on the toy